Yorana, hello, and welcome back to FM Tahiti. I'm Pelham, and this is going to be the first match for Ruraturu Humpbacks in the premiership. The off-season's done. We've got over the pain of missing out on the title on goal difference, ready to make a proper go of this. We've got Motu 1, so they're a really sandy, pretty much uninhabited atoll from the Tahiti Societies. I think we played them before last season in the Cup. I think we beat them in the Cup. But now we're in the Premiership against them. We're playing at their gaff, which is the Bellinghouse Stadium, which is played on clay, I believe it is. I'd be really disappointed if that's not the case and I've remembered it incorrectly. We might have some issues because we've got 8 players away on international duty, 3 suspended, 1 injured. They've got 3 away on international duty, but it's not quite the same, so it's going to be a tough opener for us. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know about anyone else, but I have a tradition, is that at the start of every new season, I clear the old squad, the entire team selection, and start afresh, just so I'm not getting kind of locked into making the same decisions over and over again just because of laziness more than anything. So I was going to give Hamish Bennett a start, but he's unhappy anyways, and on international duty. So Ahmed Smith makes his debut as we make our debut in the Premiership. We have nobody who can play on the right. Okay, I'm going to come back to that because there's someone in the youth team I might have to call up for this. No one who can play on the left. Interesting. We have people who can play in the centre there. So, Bolt and Salabri will have to go there. It's not a great start. I can only field 2 out of 4 in the defence. On the wing, Manuel's going to start. On the left, Richards is going to start. So Manuel and Richards were both snubbed for the national team. So I got into a bit of an argument with the national manager. Deep down, I was really happy because it means I can use them. But it wasn't ideal for their career hopes. Nick Higgins, the youth player, is going to make his debut as a ball-winning midfielder. Apparently we're missing someone else there. We'll go back and look and see who else we could get in there. In terms of strikers, looks like we're going to have to play our new boy Semi Gerard and Wallace. Swap them around, is that any better? 3 for Gerard then. Do it that way. That's better, I think. So let's see who we got here who hasn't fit into these neat boxes. So we've got Lee up, Douglas up. Wilson's injured, but you can go on there. Oh, it's just like old times, isn't it? Not being able to name a full bench, but also not being able to name enough players for a starting team. So let's go dip into the under-23s. Brent McCloy can get moved up. Phil Lamb get moved up. Move him up to put him on the bench. Move him up as well. And him. What about now? Now we've done this, what can we do? Fullback, Brett McCloy, and Phil Lamb. So 3 out of 4 of them are youth teamers, and then a youth goalkeeper. And then, yeah, a little bit thin on the ground again, but it's just for a couple of games. I'm not even going to try and fill the rest of the bench. We'll go with that. See how we do. Oh, we get squad numbers as well this time. Now we're in the Premiership, we get to give people squad numbers. Everyone managed to get their own squad numbers that they wanted. So here we go, against Motu 1. First Premiership match. We're a little weakened by things. Playing an interesting formation. I quite like the look of it. Look at their pitch. Get back out and have a look at it in a second. Look at this. This is their clay pitch. I hope they never move stadiums. I hope they only ever just expand so they keep the pitch. I have no idea if it makes any difference to how they play. If there's more injuries or what, but I just like that it's different. I think Motu1 were mid to lower table last season. He's still early enough that it doesn't make too much difference. It's not like, ooh, good tackle? I think that was a good tackle. It looked a little bit enthusiastic, shall we say. Go on, Lee. Prove your worth. Lots of young players fighting their long-term positions. Took it short. Cheeky. I thought Manuel was going to take a shot then. To be honest, because we're so kind of depleted by the internationals and the suspensions, if we lose this match, we lose against Taha, although it's not an amazing start to the premiership, I wouldn't be too bothered. It's not like we're full strength and losing. That would be more worrying. Much more worrying. Motu1 seems to be passing around quite well. No, they're not. What a goal! I thought he was just going to pass that across. Give it to the youth striker to see where to stick that in, but it's off his left foot as well. High pressure. I did tell them to do high pressure, but they did it. So yeah, bang. And that's a goal on his debut for Semi Gerrard, already worth the £0 that I invested in him. The transfer market's quite fluid at the moment because no one has to worry about spending money on getting players. Just put it all into the wages. I think a season or two though, especially if teams like Moria and the ones who get in the stadiums start to get bigger attendances and have more money to throw around. Once that starts to kick in, then we're going to see some wheeling and dealing. For the moment, we're in the lead and we've got our first Premiership goal scorer, Gerrard. And Lee is injured. Not great. Well, I was going to say, who's that with him? We don't have a physio. Must be their physio. Just like a mercy consultation with him. It's just a guy in the crowd helping out. He's pretending. It's just someone squatting next to him. He's not actually helping him. He's been down for long enough that I think this might be time to get rid of him. Oh, good ball through. Almost. Right. We do have a midfielder we can put on for him, so let's do that. Another youth player, Sam Kennelly. Good ball from the sub. Gerrard didn't quite finish that. It's probably because his hero's Chisholm. He knows that he doesn't need to finish first time. If he gets enough chances, he'll get one. I mean, he's already got one. We're just edging it in the stats. Gerrard again, he's a good outlet. They're getting the ball to him and he's doing stuff with it. He turned them inside out. Wallace, nice and calm. I've got secret hopes that Wallace is going to become a good striker. Partly because when he was playing for the under-23s, some matches he'd bang in like 4 in a go. He wouldn't do anything for a while, but he'd get like 4 all in one go. So he's got the finishing chops for it. And hopefully now we've got a coach, and an under-23s coach, and an under-23s assistant manager, and a good head of youth development, say a better head of youth development, then maybe they'll actually improve. Might end up looking at some of the training eventually, which I've not really done for FM19 yet, just because I've mainly been working with teams that are either... That was a good tackle. Yeah, I've been working with teams that are either kind of amateur or semi-pro, and you don't have as much training to deal with then anyway. But these lot are professional. even if they don't always act it. Tetaroa drawing. Keep an eye on them and see how they do. Very pleased, carrying going. It's a nice opener to the premiership. Provided they don't turn us over now. Gerard breaking the line again. Chisholm's not careful, Jared's going to become first choice. Or maybe it'd be a Chisholm and Jared combo. Jared can do the target man role, apparently. We get him instead of Williamson. Henderson was meant to be the target man, but he just can't do anything now. He's dead on his feet. So I'm probably going to wait until the 70th minute and make 2 subs. Unless something insane happens. I want to rest some of the players who are particularly good. So Salaberry's hurt a little bit, so I'll bring him off soon. And then maybe bring Dean on for Gerard, because Gerard's good. I also would like him to be good next match against Taha. Because we've got one more match we've got to do before we're back to full strength, or near full strength. Hold on a little longer. Push him back. See, they're knocking it around okay. They're not terrible with the ball by any means. They've just not got close enough. Keeps shooting like that, which eventually one of them's going to go in from there, but... So Salaberry's making known he wants to come off, he can do. And Glenn Palenthorpe. McCloy. Jared Writhy. Smacked it against the bar. Higgins is looking tired, but there's no midfielders to bring on for him anymore, so... Well... Wallace, optimistic. Let's bring on Frank Dean. Be giving youth a chance this match. I did have a look through some of the other teams to see what their under-23s were looking like, and I think a lot of teams only actually took on maybe 3 or 4 youth players. If they were the bigger teams. The smaller teams took on a few more because they had more kind of holes to plug. It looks like we were the only team to take on everyone. But I guess that's going to be our job. We know that if we want these teams to become manageable and have a better pool, we're going to have to bring players in. And a lot of our youth players are, drawing interest. Ooh. It's good long-range efforts. So we're getting a lot of trial offers for some of our youth players from like Premiership and Championship sides. And there are 1 or 2 where I'm thinking, come January, if they're not doing amazingly well in the under-23s for us, then we might as well let them go somewhere else. If they're not going to be something we use, then let's see if another team gets some use out of them and develops them. Not necessarily talking about the ones we've got in the team here, so even the ones we've called up here, wanted a clean sheet, it wasn't to be. That was the kind of shot they were threatening to score with for a long time. They're kind of outside the area. Was good. I reckon Hamish might save that. Hamish is a bit taller. Tetaroa winning. But yeah, I'm happy for our youth players to go somewhere else and play if they're not going to be part of us, our squad. So everyone we called up, they're probably good enough for us to consider to keep. But there's still like 4 or 5 players in the youth team now. So there's a keeper and a winger, for example, I keep getting offers in for. Come January, they can go, I think, if they've not lit up the under-23s. So that would save us about 100 quid in wages. Less training strain, because smaller training groups. The only reason I might keep them is if their personalities are good. Kind of holding on a little bit there. They pulled back into it and we've let them, but then... Go on, Dean. Sensible, but not exciting. Team are playing okay. Just like watching Brazil. Oh, good shot by Wallace. Not a bad shot. Don't know what that defender's doing there. I do, because I told him to get in the box for the set piece, but I don't know why he's still hanging around there. Pass it and run away. That's what he needs to do. I'm slowing things down. There's no time wasting on. Just doing this of their own accord. Just chop him down. But all in all, as long as this doesn't go in, a solid performance that I'm pretty happy with. Promising for our youth players. It's not the strongest team we're going to come up against, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Also, now that we've played this match, I can go, hopefully, to the team stats and show you a little bit about salaries. So, I see. So, Bora Bora spending the most, spent 215,000. Moria, the former champions and the runners-up, too far off. Likewise, Taha, who won the Inter-Island Cup, good team, spending close to that. Mahisha were almost, well, I say they were top for like the first half of the season, so they're spending as well. We're spending quite a lot, more than I'd wanted. And then down here you've got Tetaroa, Tupai, Papite, really not spending much. I'm kind of surprised by some of that. A couple of teams are insecure, so Rapper, Meow, Motu1, they're insecure. Everyone else is okay, there's nobody rich. Everyone else is okay. Right, so I'm going to pause here and come back for the match against Taha, where we'll still have our youth team, hopefully, still doing the business. We're back with our next match against Tahiti Islands, or the Vanillas. So they knocked us out of the Inter-Island Cup last year, and then they went on to win it. So they could be a pretty good team, but they did just get tonked by Moria 4-1, I think. It's their last match. So they could be a bit, ropey at the moment. I think their pitch as well is a sand pitch. So Taha and Motu1 are the two teams with slightly different pitch decisions, and we're playing them one after the other. Should be interesting. Weaver is back from suspension, so we'll be able to put him in. Subs bench. Play him. Swap these two round. Seeing as Darren Lee's injured. Right, let's get to it. Higgins is also tired. Let's put Kenley on instead. One change after another. Oh, Higgins did quite well last match. If he's tired, he's tired. I did set a lot of these young players originally as being available for the under-23s, and I don't think I took that off, so I think they may have played an extra match, which has tired them out. Also, they're younger, so they get tireder. 4411, our nemesis, potentially. We owe them. Get revenge. Most of you didn't play against them when that happened. Did any of you play against them when that happened? Manuel, Weaver and Richards. Probably the only ones who did. But get revenge anyway, lads. Oh, it's a bit bright with it being sand. And also the sand texture looks a little bit like it's on the higher graphic settings. This doesn't look pleasant. I'm glad we don't have to play here every match. Again, I don't know if this has any effect on how they play, but playing on sand must be tiring. Oh, Wallace. 26 seconds. That might make him the fastest goal scorer for the Humpbacks in their history. Admittedly, one season and a bit history, but it still counts. Yes, he just pushes through. Nice little ball in. Sends it on its way. Keeper wasn't going to stop it. So Wallace has got 2 and 2 now, which is good. On the bench, we do have Dean, and Dean was getting interest from Moria now as well. So I don't know what it is they see in him. He doesn't look that good. But because of that interest, I'm tempted to just keep him for the moment. It's quiet now, this score. I mean, it's only 5 minutes in. There's quite a lot of action for 5 minutes, I guess, but quietish. So let's bring up Dean's stats there. So you can see he's not amazing. Their keeper's a bit frustrated because it was a bad start, I guess. Tetaroa won their match as well and their second match, so I think they played a slightly early one. So they were briefly top of the table. Doesn't really mean anything, it's only 2 games in. If we win this one by enough, we could go top of the table too. But it does suggest... Oh, Wallace again. Is he going to be our wonder kid? Is this actually a golden generation that we got? Well, chips it in. First time finish, just like before. To encourage that, I think. It's not offside. Get wrecked. 2 goals. Bit more comfortable now. Moria going ahead, so they've won their first 2 as well if they keep that up. Wallace again was getting a little bit of interest. He'll get more now. So it's kind of flattering that they think our team's good enough to pick apart, but that could also partly just be because the player pool is a little bit small. So the database I used was, I didn't load any extra nations or any continents, things like that. I just put it onto a large database with all our leagues loaded, and that gave it something like 7,800 players or something like that, so it's not huge, which hopefully means the game will be quite fast still as we go along, but it also means there's not a huge player pool to select from. So I'm very happy. Salabry is tired again, so let's take him off. Wallace is tired. Let's leave him on to see if he can get that hat trick. Let's see if we can keep this. Let's see if we can get a clean sheet as well. Jared's been a bit quiet, but that's because Wallace has been doing all the heavy lifting, I guess. McCloy's been playing quite well. So I might keep him in the senior squad for competition for the McIntyre, for the other right back. Go on, Jared. That was good. Got past it. We need to see that again. So neck and neck. He didn't really outskill him or anything like that, but he did what was needed. That's 2 and 2 for Gerard. Wallace is still our top goal scorer with 3 though for the moment. 3 and 2. Not bad. Uahine, we could potentially end up playing in the Inter-Island Cup. So I think we've got Mohatani San Pedro in the Inter-Island Cup. And then we could have the Eels or whoever they're playing against if they get knocked out. But the Eels could be quite a strong team. So they were second to Moria. They got some OCL experience, which probably given them a bit of a boost to their rep and a little bit of boost to their finances in comparison to others. But Moria are the kind of big boys so far. They've got the first player in our league system worth more than £1,000. It's like 1,300 or something like that. And it's the former Player of the Year, so he won Player of the Year for the Premiership last season. He's a real player, I think, from one of the actual Tahitian squads that still exist in the database. He was tempted over into our new league system by the money. Gerard through. He's good at those balls. I mean, getting onto them. He obviously didn't pass it to himself, but he's got that kind of Chisholm style. He'll run onto them quite well. Bad for Wallace. He is knackered now. I have to bring on Dean because of that. Let's bring on Douglas for Richards. So the yellow card as much as the fact he's tired. Kennelly's doing okay with those balls as well. Gerard was getting there. Just a poor finish at the end, but he's calm. He's calm on the ball. And there he goes. Rivaling Wallace. It does actually give me a bit of an issue now, because after this match the senior players come back, and if Gerard and Wallace as a pairing have got 6 goals between them in 2 games, I can't really just dump them, because Chisholm and Williamson are first choices from last season. I might actually just stick with them, as long as they're fit for the next match. I think I'm going to have to. It's only really fair. Four goals, not bad. I think Moria are going to end up being top on goal difference. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with the team. All those youth players have come in for those first 2 matches and actually done a good job. I've seen less mistakes with those youth players on the pitch than I did with those senior ones all of last season. The new striker Gerard's earning his money. Wallace is showing his promise. Kenley and Higgins in the centre were doing okay. Douglas is Douglas. He was good last year as well when he was playing. There we go. Dominated them. Let's have a quick look at the table after this. Yeah, it was really special. We were not favourites to win that before going into it. Let's look at that. Moria first on 6 with 6 goal difference. Us on second with 6 points and 5 goal difference. And then Tetaroa. So the 2 promoted sides making up second and third there. So I shall end here and we will come back for probably San Pedro and Tetaroa actually. Get these 2 done. We might do a Mutiny Cup special. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I like to do, especially when it's a kind of new season and we're getting used to things, do quite a lot of games back to back. I know the standard format for a lot of YouTube channels is to do a couple, take a break, do a couple, and we did that more towards the end of the last season as we were getting towards things, but that was more after we'd got used to what the teams were like and what our team was like. Considering we started this strongly, I want to carry on and see, so you can see it happen as well. So San Pedro next, and I will see you next episode. Thanks very much.